What's up, guys? Monero Matteo. Welcome back to another video. We are pumping this stuff out there, and I think our content is just so key. I mean, again, if you watch this channel, you're ahead of the curve. Monero first. It's going to be big. So thank you guys for tuning in and getting that. Our community is still small, but we're strong. I think we have a strong, intelligent, well-aware community here on the channel. So welcome all the newcomers. Look at all these tabs I have open. These are all the videos that I'm working on at the moment. But today, I want us to talk about what is going on with this hack that happened a couple days ago on the Poly network. You guys maybe heard about that. It was the biggest DeFi hack in history, $611 million. And we joked that a lot of people got DeFi. They got definanced. And yeah, I mean, I guess the hacker is now looking to return a lot of these funds. One of the theories is because his funds got blacklisted, which we went over in our DeFi video and our concerns about that. I'll post that somewhere over there. I think that's the direction. And, you know, he couldn't move his money off of these addresses because his addresses were identified. All the exchanges were notified. The miners were notified on all the networks. And they said, look, you can't mine these coins. You can't process the transfer of these coins. You can't cash out these coins. And so there was nowhere for him to go. He tried to actually deposit his Tether onto a particular exchange, and we'll probably read that somewhere in the article, but it was unable to be deposited because they were blacklisted. Now, I think it was Tether, which is very centralized, which we'll get to here in a second, but let's just go through some of these articles, and then we're going to talk about the implications of this in regards to some things we're continuing to see in the news. This isn't a new development. This is another development that is part of a long trend that is going on, which is getting worse by the day, of people in certain political affiliations getting censored, getting unbanked, and getting abused, really, by the federal government and the administration. And we're going to look at one particular person. I don't even know if you could say his name. He's sort of like Voldemort. He's sort of like General Jones, the man who is always telling you there's a war on for your mind, which indeed there is, which is why we are having this channel. But yeah, he was unbanked, and the FBI stole $500,000 of his money. Because I guess there is some speculation that he is some kind of domestic enemy or some kind of political dissident, which is dangerous. There is another term that I could use. Again, I don't know if YouTube censors that. We're living in this very Orwellian-esque type of environment, so I'm unsure what I can say. I'll try to, communicate however it can so I don't get the Eye of Sauron blasting on me. But that is a concerning development that we're going to link to this, and hopefully you guys can sort of get the connection I'm trying to make. Let me just make sure I'm still recording. Great. So the person who did this hack to the article said that they did it for fun. They wanted to expose the vulnerability before others could exploit it. Now, this is a reasonable argument. I mean, if you told somebody about this defect in the system, how do you know that those people wouldn't take advantage of that defect, right? And so one way to, I guess, get awareness of this is to take advantage of the defect yourself, but that is like super mega risky. That to me doesn't really make too much sense. So I suspect that he just couldn't offload his funds, and so maybe he feels bad about robbing all those people. I mean, certainly he has a conscience. That's a lot of people. $611 million. I mean, that's a lot of people who just had their lives ruined, really. So maybe he's like having some regrets about it. So he's justifying it, whatever. And so Elliptic, a crypto tracking firm, another tracking firm. Dude, we're going to make a video on all of these firms. We're just going to put together like a compiled database of all these firms because the list is just going exponential. It was always the plan to return the tokens the purported hacker wrote. Well, clearly not, because he gave some tokens away already, as we'll get to. Adding, I'm not very interested in money. Okay, well, maybe not. Could be the case since he got into crypto early, if that's the situation. In a tweeted update, the team, referring to the hacker as Mr. White Hat, said, "We look forward to Mr. White Hat returning all of the remaining user assets stated by him." Well, you better, or else you guys are in some trouble. Biggest cryptocurrency hike ever. Yeah, we get all that stuff. So they're talking about sick law enforcement on him. The company posted a letter to Twitter asking the thief to establish communication. While simultaneously urging them to give back the stolen assets voluntarily, the letter claimed that the two sides should work out a solution, while also implying law enforcement would pressure the suspect, regardless of where they are living. And we've talked about this. There's Interpol, there's FATF, there is FATCA and the IRS, which operates through that. So there are international criminal organizations which certainly take this stuff seriously. The amount of money you hacked is the biggest one in DeFi history. Law enforcement in any country, will regard this as major economic crime, and you will be pursued. It is very unwise for you to do any further transactions. The money you stole are from tens of thousands of crypto community members. So it is very unwise for you to do any further transactions. It just kind of sends some chills up your spine, doesn't it? Poly Network says a preliminary investigation discovered that whoever's responsible for the digital heist exploited a vulnerability. We're not too tech savvy on all that stuff, so we don't really care. We're just looking at the other elements of this, which we want to connect. It was reported that shortly after the hack took place, the crypto company Tether froze. So you could have these funds frozen, even if they're in your wallet or your account, $33 million in USD tokens. So there was a funny comment on this. He said, froze as in centralized S-coin. This wouldn't happen if it was a decentralized blockchain with proof of work. I mean, they can still obviously be blacklisted, bro. Get with the program. Forbes reports that blockchain-based security firm Slow Mist, and guys, this is so key. Tune into this. This is crazy. Also put out a statement shortly after the breach that claimed to have the hacker's email address and IP address, and was trying to figure out additional clues that would point to the person's identity. So, whoa. I mean, they can figure out a lot of stuff with their IP address. Now, who knows if this guy was using Tor and, whether or not his IP was able to be scrambled. I'm not a professional on this stuff, so I don't know how much that even works. That's why I don't go on the dark web. I don't trust these technologies that I don't understand, especially if I'm going to be interacting with a bunch of dangerous people. I'm good. But, they got his IP address and email, apparently. And we're going to take a closer look at this company later in this article, but, somebody like this gets uncovered and unmasked, that's pretty crazy. That makes sort of, tech noobs like me want to go into Monero, because I know the tech works. As far as I'm concerned, just based on the info which has flowed to the surface, it hasn't been hacked. It hasn't been compromised. There's been a few bugs which are being worked on right now, which is going to make the protocol that much more strong. But nobody's being tracked for this stuff. Nobody's having their IP addresses uncovered. So that's fantastic with Monero. That's why we love Monero. It's truly private. It's sort of like there's going to be like a union between two different groups in the Monero community. There's going to be like the super genius tech whizzes, because you look at the Monero Reddit, those people are like MIT PhD mad scientist level genius. Like, these people are like your Dr. Evils, except they're actually smart and crafty, and they're not evil. I don't know why I mentioned Dr. Evil, but seriously, check out the Reddit. These guys are smart. I mean, there's so much for me to learn, but there's going to be a union between these people and the people who know almost nothing but still want their coins to be private. And they know their coins are private because the IRS has yet to pay out that bounty. Nobody in the Monero community, which are people who are, for the most part, very honest, very straightforward, they'll tell you if there's a problem. They'll tell you what the problem is and, the severity of the problem. That's what was the case with this most recent bug. And you can kind of trust their perspective. Unlike, we've got to that in another video. There was a problem in the Bitcoin blockchain a long time ago, and the developers didn't tell anybody about it. Now, they were able to fix it up, and there wasn't a deeper issue which came out as a result of that. But, how much can you trust the devs? And we did a video on that called the Bitcoin Black Pill. I need to slow down. My mind is racing right now. I just had some Chick-fil-A, so maybe it's the sugar from that giant milkshake I just had, dude. Those things are so good. Have you guys tried the peach milkshake? If you guys have, would you leave a comment? I had the chocolate one. I always go with the chocolate, the peach. It's just Do you want to take that risk? You just don't know. Okay, anyways. So there's that. So they know his IP address and his personal information and stuff. So that's quite something. So we'll start right here. Xiamen Slomas Technology, a blockchain security firm based in China, said that it uncovered this information. In a blog post from Medium, the firm explained how the hacker executed the hack. They exploited something in the code. Here is a report from CipherTrace, which reports hackers have stolen at least $474 million. And as cybercrimes proliferate, New Securities and Exchange Commission Chair Gary Gensler said it's time to place protections around the cryptocurrency market. So we went over this also. The fact that this is taking place now is very subopportune. And, sorry, my buddy's calling me. And because the bill is now going to the House and it wasn't amended in the Senate with the certain specifications making a broker defined specifically as an exchange rather than miners, proof of stakers, node operators, everybody like this, people involved in DeFi, it's one of the main targets in the crosshair there. This is going to make it that much harder to politically justify an amendment. And if it is justified, people are going to stuff a whole bunch of stuff into the amendment saying that, well, we have to do it along with all this other stuff. Like Shelby tried to introduce $50 billion to the amendment, which, Bernie Sanders shut down. But we'll see how it turns out. Yeah, crypto space largely unregulated, so they're coming after it to regulate it. So there's that. And so, guys, I wanted to get into the deets a little bit in regards to this company that I found, Slow Mist. It's a Chinese company. And let's just look up the Slow Mist. We'll go to the website here. So customers we have served, exchanges, wallets, blockchains, tokens, and dApps. So check this out. Check out all these services they provide: blockchain security, smart contract security audits, hacking time, defense deployment, and all this stuff. Now, I haven't gone through all of this, but yeah, they're figuring all this stuff out. There's a whole industry which is being born as a result of crypto and its public blockchain surveillance vulnerabilities. And again, we're going to make a video just databasing all these companies so that people can be aware of just how little is going to be able to be kept private on a lot of these networks. So I found one thing that was particularly interesting. It was the asset abnormal monitoring and tracking solution right there. Cold asset security solution. You guys could look into all this stuff. It's just interesting to me. But what is this? Is this what I... No, here we go. I don't know why Russell Crowe is right there. Shoot. Where did I... Oh no, just be patient with me. I forgot where it was I was. I had something pulled up. Skip the video if I'd take too long to do this. I think it was this one, but we'll go into... Yeah, so check this out. To monitor the wallet address balance or transaction on the blockchain, you can build a full node on the public chain, or you can use a data subscription service provided by a third party. The monitoring logic can be monitored according to balance sheet changes or according to transaction granularity, sending reminders for each on-chain transaction of the target wallet address. So basically what they can do is they can set up an alert that says, please alert whoever is in coordination with this business whenever there is a transaction which takes place with this wallet. So if the feds come to you and they're like, hey, according to our data, you have a bunch of Bitcoins on this address. You're going to need to pay unrealized capital gains tax on that, or you're going to maybe need to give these up to the authorities because the Bitcoins are tainted and you got these from, somebody who shouldn't have had them in the first place or got them through or illegal means, right? And so we're going to need those Bitcoins back. And then if you're like, no, sorry, not my wallet, or I don't know the password or something like that, then they're going to put a monitor on the wallet. And if there are any funds which move from that wallet, they're going to know it's you. And they're going to know that you lied because you said, oh, I couldn't get into my wallet. Sorry, I forgot the password. Or I'm just not going to give it to you. And if you don't give it to them, but you say you have it, then they're just going to take you away. They're going to put you in jail or something. So there's that. Or you can just say it's not your wallet. But then again, with all of these tools that they're going to employ, they're probably going to be able to have a high level of confidence that it's your wallet, especially if these wallets are interacting with corporations like Apple or Amazon, which require you to submit your email address and submit your name and your real physical address in many cases. And maybe they have other data on you, and maybe they're working with Google behind the scenes so they can figure out which cell phone is yours, where you have been, what Bitcoins have been shopping for what on the internet, and where those goods have been shipped to. And if those things are in alignment, then it's probably your wallet. Like, just think of all of the networks which are building behind the scenes. And you could probably imagine they could figure out a lot, right? I mean, my brother, he's big on this Snowden stuff. Like, he is going into a part of the government I can't even tell you because he's in that part of the world, right? And he reads all these books about how to basically get off the system and get off the grid. And he's very smart about not giving his information out and stuff like that. He's completely the opposite of me. Obviously, I'm advertising for Monero, but my face is literally on the internet, so probably not the greatest thing, but you guys need somebody like me. That's fine. But the books that he reads tells you all of these websites you haven't even heard of before, dozens of them that have everything about you on them. Address, posts you've made on social media, from social media accounts that maybe you've deleted long since, different addresses you've lived in, just a crazy amount of data is out there. You'd be so shocked. And these websites, they contract with different background check companies, maybe different intelligence agencies. And so you don't think that all of these webs are going to connect together and integrate into these public blockchains to figure out all this stuff? I mean, let's not be naive, ladies and gentlemen. Let's not be naive. So to move on from that rant, and guys, please let me know if you have more information regarding any of this stuff. If you have your own thoughts on this stuff and you're quite sophisticated in regards to technology and to off-grid surveillance and privacy protection and all that kind of stuff, please leave comments. We'd love to hear from you. The community would love to indulge in that info. So personal needs can monitor the wallet address through a block explorer such as Etherscan. And with Etherscan and block analysis or whatever that other website is for Bitcoin, it's like, yeah, you can find out how much money people have just with the elementary level of understanding that somebody like me has. Like, we were looking at Stefan Molyneux recently, and he's got his Bitcoin address posted publicly, and you can find other YouTubers who do the same. You could take that address, you could paste it into one of these websites, which show you their balance, their transaction history, who they've transacted with, and you could take those wallet addresses that were transacting with that wallet, and you could type that in, and you could figure out some pretty interesting things. And that can take no time at all. And Stefan Molyneux, by the way, well, we don't need to say that. I'm not trying to, out anybody or anything like that. You guys can look all that stuff up. And at the same time, meet the monitoring and customized alarm functions. Watch wallet. Okay, so it goes on. So the team's needs are recommended to find technical engineers to build monitoring system based on message queues and a customized alarm system such as Mail, Slack, Corporate, WeChat, and other push channels so that the stability and availability of the system are more guaranteed. So again, they're going to be integrating a lot of this stuff. And at some point, it's going to be like an artificial intelligence thing that calculates and tracks everything without the necessity for human oversight, potentially. And if they are able to put in certain protocols and certain rules where people who have certain associations with certain language and certain groups, are to be more tracked or to have their coins more probabilistically blacklisted than other people's coins. And this is another note that I made on my Twitter. Nobody really commented on it, and just let me know what you guys think. Again, I'm getting like super conspiratorial, but again, in this world that we live in, I don't see why that is a problem or why that's unreasonable. I used to be not that conspiratorial, but I mean, dude, look at everything that's happened, right? So just imagine this. Just imagine that the people in charge of these public blockchains, they have to toe whatever line that they need to toe in order to just get by in this new brave new world that we're moving into. And the people who don't, they may have a financial incentive to blacklist their coins and to make the argument that, oh, these people are, enemies of the state or something. These people are working with different groups which are on certain lists, right? And so maybe we need to blacklist their coins. You can't mine these coins. You can't facilitate the processing of these coins. And so those coins are taken out of circulation. And so that reduces the liquidity pool. And because that reduces the liquidity pool, the amount of coins that the people who do toy the line have left are increased in value because there's less liquidity in the system. And so if people are spending less coins, that is to say that they can't exchange their coins for goods or they can't just offload their coins in general, they can't sell, well, that could push up the price of the asset, right? Just some thoughts. All right. So this is just more stuff that you could go to. And the tracking under the blockchain, this is an idea that was new to me, but this is how they figured out the IP address and the email of this hacker. Off-chain tracking mainly refers to information that has nothing to do with blockchain, such as email account numbers, IP addresses, device fingerprints, and other information. After these clues are obtained based on the on-chain tracking, the relevant platforms can be further used to analyze and collect evidence on off-chain information. Right, so it's going to become an integrated system of surveillance. It's going to become an integrated system of surveillance. Now, maybe social engineering means something different here, but that gave me the spooks. It said off-chain tracking mainly uses social engineering and search engine technology to find relevant information in the massive data of the internet. Yo, I mean, that's just like, whoa. No, thank you. Monero, please. Like, come on. You can't tell me you read that and you were like, yeah, that sounds fine. Not me. So let's go back and read the story about America First Fuentes. Based Fuentes. $500,000 stolen from his bank account by the Bureau. 23-year-old host. I mean, bro, just quick question. Nice, $500,000 in your bank account, 23 years old. He's killing it right now. I do wonder how it is he got all that cash. Maybe it's all from donations. People love this guy. He's one of the only people in the space saying what it is he's saying, which is why he's getting banned everywhere. Maybe that's why he has so much money, is because he has a very loyal backing. He's saying things that a lot of people aren't allowed to say. And if you say them, you get banned. You get unbanked, you get your job taken away from you, and bad things happen to you, as bad things are now happening to him. So that could be why. I wonder how much he has in crypto, and I wonder if there are firms like Slow Mist already on the scene working to figure out how it is they can blacklist his coins. Figure out what wallet is his, figure out what coins he has, what the signature is, the hash or whatever, and make it so that he can transact those coins, right? This would, in my imagination, be a prelude to that, but we will see what happens. He described how he was first alerted when his bank card was declined. He then learned his checking account was drained with almost $500,000 gone. So I'm curious what bank he used. It's probably like Bank of America or something, probably one of these banks that he as a taxpayer helped bail out. Well, he was younger, but it's cool, right? Like, you're a taxpayer, and conservatives contribute a lot to the economy. In most cases, conservatives are farmers. Conservatives are the people working at the factories. Conservatives are the people who are making the things in society move. And these people are paying the taxes to bail out the banksters, and then those same banksters are saying, no, you can't bank with us. So that's not really fair, is it? But that is what's happening. It's corporate socialism. That's what it is. It's private profits and socialized costs. Socialized costs paid for by the people, who in many cases don't get anything back for the money that they put into the system. Not only that, but their unborn children are now saddled with trillions of dollars of debt that they didn't even consent or sign on to, but they will have to pay for over the course of their lives, assuming that the system stays intact, which is now a contentious question. 2 weeks later, he says the bank provided numbers for attorneys working for the Department of Justice. From this, he gathered he was under investigation by the FBI. So, really, guys, I mean, what's happening is he is a political dissident. And they are stealing his money, taking his rights. I mean, he wasn't allowed to fly planes a couple months ago. I think he was put on a no-fly list or something to that effect. So, as far as I'm concerned, he hasn't done anything illegal. And if you actually listen to him, I'm not sure what it is he says that is actually that incorrect. And if you guys think there's something incorrect that he talks about, please let me know. But I'm just telling you from my perspective, there's nothing that he says which at least warrants what happened to him by the FBI, or what the airlines have been doing to him, or what these social media platforms have been doing to him and kicking him off. What has he been saying that has been so factually incorrect and consciously misleading? Can you prove he was consciously lying about some of the things that he was saying? I don't think so. And a lot of this persecution against him, and a lot of the people who are listening to him and just saying, hey, yeah, that kind of makes sense. Like, cool, America maybe should be a more Christian country. Maybe we shouldn't put up with degeneracy as much. Maybe we should focus on manufacturing again and not shipping all of our jobs overseas. Like, why is this kid who's like 22, 23 years old, and if you look at his stature, you know, he's not exactly the type of intimidating guy you would think would be, you know, about to be shipping out to Afghanistan or something. Like, you know, it's just unreasonable what is happening to this guy. And if it can happen to him, who's to say it can't happen to me, or it can't happen to you, or it can't happen to any of us? And this ties in to the surveillance coin system, where everyone's just worried about making money. Everyone's just in on the fix. And I was retweeting today a quote by Mr. Wonderful, Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank, and he's just like, Peter Schiff, get over your obsession with gold. Get into Bitcoin because the gains are massive. And he's like, the only reason I'm in Bitcoin, well, because it's gaining. We're making hella money. It's just like, nobody even cares about the freedom element of this. Nobody cares about the tech. Nobody cares about the implications of defeating a global monetary system which impoverishes billions of people and destroys civilizations. Like, no, it's just we're getting gains. That's cool. That's what it's all about. That's satanic, ladies and gentlemen. With everything going on right now, we need free money. And not free money in the Andrew Yang, Bernie Sanders type way. We need money that is free, that allows us to transact with each other no matter who we are, no matter what color our skin is, no matter what orientation we come from, no matter what our political beliefs are. We can transact, and we can do it freely without having to worry about somebody trying to censor us, especially in this crazy day and age where everything is being politicized, everything is being censored. We need freedom, and that's what Monero grants us. And you listen to people like Michael Saylor, he's just like, yeah, Monero's too good, it goes too far. It's like, dude, like, not based, super beta, okay? Anyone who's like, you know, I like Monero, it's just too private, beta. It's just Bitcoin is just going to be more accepted by the government. Like, it's going to beta. Okay, we need some alpha chads entering the chat. We need some people who are like, okay, we have a serious problem with society. Let's get Monero and let's get out of the system and let's start to build our own networks of transacting with each other. Because these people aren't going to let us do it. They don't like us, and they want to destroy our civilization. They want to destroy our culture. They want to demean our God. This is not okay. This is not okay. We need freedom. It's not about the gains. Let's not be sold out, ladies and gentlemen. Because at the end of the day, your soul is what matters. And the future we pass on to our children is what matters. It's not about just gaining in the moment so that we can go party in El Salvador, get a grip, okay? The America First host is not the only one targeted by the FBI post-January 6th. Yes, there have been many others. Many are rotting in solitary confinement. They haven't had a court date yet. Sorry, it gets me fired up. Lord forgive me. It's just, in this day and age, sometimes I really can get more fired up than I should. But I have to remember that the Lord is in command. He's in control. He's still on the throne. And everything is happening for a reason. This is a time of testing. This is a time of challenge. And we have to live up to it. And let's never forget that as much as it may seem that things are heading in the wrong direction, they're heading in the right direction. Okay, we were called to this moment to act with courage and to speak the truth and to try to preserve our rights and preserve our freedoms so that we could pass on a world to our children that allows them to be truly human and not be a machine and not be a self-censored rat in this hapless system of tyranny. I could go on, ladies and gentlemen, but that's all I wanted to say. We'll go full screen now. Man, I started this in a good mood. I had Chick-fil-A. I had my chocolate shake. I don't know what you guys get from Chick-fil-A. I always get that spicy deluxe chicken sandwich. Ooh. And the thing with me is, like, I like the pickle juice, but I don't like the pickles. That didn't sound right. I like, just the texture of it. That didn't sound right either. But no, it's this stuff is really important, okay? This stuff is, like, super duper important. And we need our free market economy back. And the only way that we could make that first step to get back there, I believe, is to have free market money, which means gold, which means silver. We are big fans of gold and silver here on this channel. Gold and silver are more fungible than Bitcoin, are they not? And Monero. Monero is the best digital currency that's out there. Yes, they have a bug that they're trying to fix, but after that, it's going to be better than ever. You can believe it. And a lot of other folks that watch this channel, they're super into Monero and Pirate Chain, and that's all well and good. Or sorry, Pirate Chain, Dero, Haven, and some of these other privacy-oriented cryptocurrencies, which is fine, which is dandy. We're not really big on Dash and Zcash. Zcash came out with a statement yesterday, and they released a new wallet, and this new wallet has privacy capabilities, which allows it so that you can be totally private with the wallets, but you have to opt into the wallet, which means that privacy is still optional at the end of the day, which means it's not totally private. So there are issues with that. You need privacy on the protocol level, which is important to understand. Bitcoin is trying to achieve privacy so that they can ultimately achieve fungibility, but it's not on the protocol level. On the protocol level, it's a transparent blockchain, and unless they go through a lot of political chicanery there in the development mining node system in the government structure in order to make that huge shift, which will probably require a hard fork, I don't see that happening. So it's always going to be a surveillance coin as much as they try to introduce some of these second layered protocols and some of these second layered solutions to try to fix that privacy problem. I'd rather just go with Monero, guys. Just Monero fixes this. Monero first. Let's get the word out about Monero. Like, Monero is just so key. It's so awesome, dude. Monero. Just think about it. Monero. We need to talk more about Monero on the social media webs because everyone's talking about Bitcoin. It's become like this new fad. It's well, of course it's a fad. Everyone's getting rich. But, that's all I have to say for this video. Folks, if you have any comments about any of this stuff, we went through a lot. please comment. Please give me your thoughts. I'm interested in hearing from you. Like the video, share the video if you thought it was important. Subscribe. We have a lot of great content coming out that I think you'd be very fascinated in. Our people are way ahead of the curve on this channel, and it's completely free, which is awesome. But if you are inclined to donate, you can check out my addresses in the comment section below for Dero, Monero, and Pirate Chain. Those are the only cryptos that I accept. And that being said, guys, Monero Matteo, follow me on Gab, Twitter, and Rumble and Odyssey. Check me out on those latter two, especially because, if something happens with YouTube, Odyssey is the way to go. Maybe not even Rumble, because Rumble is paying people who, well, we'll go into that in a different video. They're better than YouTube, but Odyssey is ultimately the best. They're awesome. So that being said, God bless, ladies and gentlemen, and have a wonderful day.